Hi, who's out there today? It is Friday afternoon, April 23rd, and this is Liz Smith with the St. John's Boosters Business Association in St. John's, Portland, Oregon. You are tuning in to I Am a Small Business Instagram Live, which is our Friday program where I sit down and virtually interview a small business or nonprofit. And we talk for a little bit and you get to know them and I get to ask all the questions that I'm always dying to ask. And it's a way of us being together during pandemic times. And I love it. It's so much fun. So where did this idea come from, you may ask? Well, this idea came from Venture Portland, who ran a social media campaign over the summer called I Am a Small Business. Looked a lot like that. And we loved it. And so we adopted it for our business district as well, because we thought what a great way to highlight that when you're supporting a small business or a nonprofit, you're supporting your neighbors, your friends, your community members. And, you know, at this time of challenges to coming together in community, it really means a lot. Plus, it means that these small businesses and organizations have a chance of being around after we're through all of this good stuff. So, yes, it's really beautiful out today. We've had such gorgeous weather. This week was Earth Week, as many of you know. So a lot of our community members have been getting out there, and there's a bunch of ways that you can get out and help for Earth Day this weekend. So St. John's Clutter Busters are organizing a cleanup for tomorrow, Saturday. And then Friends of Pier Park are also doing a cleanup. So that's their annual one that they do in Pier Park. So if you go to those two organizations' websites or social platforms, you should be able to find out more about that. But you can also do something in, just outside your own home or in the district, just picking up trash by adopting a block or joining another kind of cleanup. There was just a big one in Cathedral Park on the beach, which had, I think, over 100 volunteers last weekend. So basically what I'm saying is every day is Earth Day and we can all do our part. As far as the boosters, yesterday we launched a new project called the St. John's Native Plant Pocket Park. So we're turning a little space of land that has been around for a while, has had various forms of plantings and replantings, but we wanted to do a really intentional planting of native plants and also a land acknowledgement. So stay tuned for more on that. That project is just getting started, and we hope to have community support as far as plant adoptions and people coming out for work parties and just beautifying our already beautiful part of Portland. What else is going on this week? We have a lot. We have Pizza Week. This is something that the Portland Mercury does every year, and one of our businesses, Signal Station, is participating. So for this week through the 25th, you can get one of their selected flavors of pizza for $2 a slice or $16 a pie. It's a really great idea. And that segues me into another Boosters event, which is running right now, which is St. John's Bites. So with St. John's Bites, since you're on Instagram, I assume you all have Instagram accounts. So what you do is you can enjoy food or drink in the neighborhood. And it doesn't matter if it's takeout or at the place, or you pick something up, curbside pickup to go, whichever way you enjoy food or drink in our area. And you post a picture of it, a public picture of it, and you hashtag St. John's Bites. And every week we will do a drawing for 3 winners to win a $50 gift certificate to the business in their photo. So all in all, we'll be giving out 12 prizes of $50 each, and that money goes right back into the district. So how good is that? We love St. John's Bites. We ran it virtually last year, did really well, and so we thought we'd bring it back again. And it's like, hey, there's a new business I've been meaning to try, or I haven't been back to this one for a while. It gives you the excuse to go out and do that, and we hope you really enjoy it. All of us really do, so I think you will too. The other thing that's happening tomorrow is Independent Bookstore Day. And we are so lucky to have 2 independent bookstores right here in our district. Revolution's Bookshop and Two Rivers Bookstore. So Two Rivers, I believe, is running a promotion. You can go to their social channels or to their website to find out more about it. But it's, buy a certain amount and get entered to win a subscription of starter bread. And if you guys haven't had starter bread, it's so amazing. It's made right here in St. John's. And if you live in 97203, you can sign up for front porch delivery. It doesn't get easier than that for freshly baked bread. So delicious. And then we have our website, which many of you know already, has recently been revamped by the wonderful Marianne Ashton-Brenner of Waterlink Web. And now it's much, much easier to navigate. It's faster. It's easier to find businesses. It's so beautiful with a picture from Deanna Cantrell Photography on the front. So, and we're continuing to do updates. We just wanted to make sure it was live so you guys could use it. So head on over to stjohnsboosters.org when you have a moment and take a look and let us know what you think. And with that, I am so excited to welcome my guests today, who are Kat and Caryn from Daydreamer Coffee. I don't know how many of you guys have been to Daydreamer or not, but you're in for a treat. We're going to get to talk together. So what I'm going to ask them to do is request to join my chat. So you guys, I see you guys out there. I see you saying hi to me. Hi, and I'm ready for you. So just request to join and we will get started. And while we're waiting for them, I'm going to say happy 35th anniversary to Venture Portland, an organization that has been so supportive of us over the years, and they're having their 35th birthday this year. So, just like me. Just kidding. I'm a little bit older than 35. But 35 is a good age to be. I remember it well. So happy anniversary to Venture Portland, and thank you for all the support that you give us and all the other districts. All right. We are just waiting for the request to join. Let's see here. Not seeing it quite yet. So Daydreamer, if you are out there, you just have to request to join the conversation. I believe that's what the request is called. Okay, they're trying. Nothing's perfect. You know how that goes. And I hope everybody's having a beautiful day today. I saw the sun kind of peeking out from the clouds a little bit. It got really warm. A few days ago, like summertime warm. And as I was driving through the district, I saw so many people out there enjoying meals and drinks. And a lot of our businesses have taken advantage of the Safe Streets program from Portland Bureau of Transportation. And what that is that's where you can request a permit to put tables or whatever you have for outdoor sitting and eating out in the parking places in front of your business. And it just gives places that can't welcome people inside right now a place that you can offer your customers to sit, enjoy safely as we're still in COVID times. So it's been really great, and it's really heartwarming to drive through the district and see people eating outside and enjoying safely on a wonderful warm night. So I'm looking forward to many of those as we move into summertime as well. So it should be really a good summer. What else are we looking forward to this summer? Well, there is the Jazz Festival, which we hear now they're planning for a live festival, but they won't make a final decision until May. So we'll keep you guys informed on that. So they do have a backup plan of doing it virtually again. Some of you may have attended last year. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed watching it online. It was a way to experience the music. And oh my God, the lineup was so excellent. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see if that request is going to work. They're still trying, guys. Oh, there it is.
What's up?
Wow, that was hard.
Was it hard? I'm always on this side of it, so I never know how it's going to be. And you know how social media changes all the time. So something I might have put in the instructions could be obsolete by now. I don't know.
I think we'll blame Insta. Yeah. Easier that way.
The technology is, something's always being updated, and you're like, I know there was a button here. I've seen this button before.
Actually, every time I go live, I forget how to do it. And so I have to sit here and fiddle. I'm like, do I go on the home page or my profile page? Wait, am I on the boosters page? Every single time. If it looks smooth to anyone, it's a complete illusion. I forget. So. Anyway,
well,
how are you
it could just
today?
It could just be that you're a total pro, Liz. I mean, that might be all.
No, pretty good.
Smoke and mirrors.
We get that.
But I'm a determined person and I like to talk to people. So I will fight my way through the technology to get to you.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it. It takes grit
Mm-hmm.
to run a small business, right?
Oh boy, let's
You know
talk
what's
about
up.
that. Let's talk about grit.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys decided to open this business. What is it? Has it been 2 years? How long has it been now?
We've been operating for 2.5
Okay.
years. It was way back in 2017 that the business was first pitched and we first started working on it, but in probably about September 2017.
Okay, which in COVID time, so that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was roughly a decade.
Easily.
And what made you think like, okay, we want to open a coffee business? Like, what made you like go in that direction? Is it something you had already done, or is this brand new?
Sure. I'm a writer and I've been obsessed with coffee shops forever. I just love it. I love the product. I love, the whole ambiance and the energy of a coffee shop. I'll go into different cities and neighborhoods and checking out kind of what's going on in different places. It's like a fingerprint for a neighborhood. And It's a thing that I've always personally really enjoyed. So I've had been working on the plan for, much longer than we have time to talk about. And kind of the right opportunity came about. And here we are.
I love it. And I so relate to the when you're a writer or you do anything that's like, sitting at the laptop, the coffee shop is your office. It's where you go to be with people, but not be with people.
Right.
Yes.
And then
I
the
feel
coffee
like you're out in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And it is very much the culture of a place. When I travel anywhere, the first thing I want to seek out is their independent coffee shop and get the vibe. I just want to get that vibe. Plus, coffee people are my people. So, I know that I'm going to have something, in common with them automatically. All right. So you got your plan in place, and I assume you figure out your name and what you're going to serve. And then what was that like opening your business?
I mean, I wish that it were as simple as the way that it kind of just came out right there. But it certainly is not. It's I'll say that the startup process before we even got the cart here and got the window open for the first time, it felt like juggling spinning plates.
Yes.
We have totally bootstrapped this thing. We are not funded by people. And so you really have to do quite a great deal of work to get something up and running when you're, being frugal.
And personally invest a lot too. I invest your faith that it's going to work, your time and actual money. And, it's a risk. A lot of people say, oh, this really cute place just popped up. And it's like, well, it didn't just pop up. It's cute.
Yeah.
So how did you decide on the location, for example? Because that's one of the main components. Where are you going to do it?
Yeah, I think this is our neighborhood. So where's our coffee shop? There's plenty of coffee shops, great coffee shops, downtown St. John's. This north end was a little dry, so to speak. Yes. And Kat here lives just blocks from here. I live right on the other side of the cut. And we just thought that this neighborhood could use a little hub and a little caffeine hug.
And I love that it's on Fessenden. So I love that you're in that part of St. John's because, as you say, there are businesses, but there's distances between those.
Few and far between.
Yeah, and there's definitely not a coffee place. So that was definitely missing there. And it's so great that you support the other coffee places in other parts of St. John's, but you're offering something to so many neighbors who can walk there, or they're going to the gym and they're going to stop by there. Or like me, I could walk there, but I drive there.
Well, people want that. They want a 10-minute neighborhood. They want somewhere they can walk to a market. They want somewhere they can walk to a gym, a coffee shop, a bar, a restaurant. And this area just didn't have that. And I feel like if we can just invest in this street, invest in this stretch here. I feel like, so, you know, people want that here. They really do. I think our fairly swift success here shows that this is an area that really can support small businesses, and they want to, and they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a really underserved neighborhood for quite a while, and you know, we know why that is, but it was just time. And there's something, I think, to scratching your own itch a little bit. We were like, where's the shop in my neighborhood?
Yep.
Yeah, and sometimes I think in the world you realize that if there's a need to be filled, it might be you that's supposed to do
Just
it.
to fill it.
Right. If you're
There we go.
missing that thing, be the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's but again, that takes grit, and that takes a lot of, you know,
Yeah.
pushing through and perseverance. And then you hope they come. It's like you're waiting for the party and you're like, I hope you come. I hope you like, you know, the culture that we've built here. And actually, I want to talk about that with you guys. So even though you're not a sit down location per se, you have created an amazing culture of your business. It is very well, because I look at branding with people a lot, right? And I look at like, what is this business telling me? Who are they? What is the experience I'm going to get by going there? And because you're really good at your social media, that really helps. But how did you decide to do things like have the free library, or how are you like naming your specialty drinks with you know, like amazing, like you know, not making a statement, but well, actually, yeah, making a statement. How did you decide to like go that direction?
Well, shoot, the first question, the little free library. Well, I had a big box of books rolling around in my back seat. Our guy Jesse, Straight Edge Designs, built us this amazing little bookshelf out here. We're like, hey, let's make a condiment bar, back in the days when you could have condiment bars.
Right.
And I'm like, I've got books and a shelf and
It's a no-brainer.
some chalkboard paint. And so I made a little free library. And those first round of books went really fast. And I was like, oh, okay. So luckily I had more books in my garage. And I brought those over. And then next thing you know, people just started bringing their own books. And everything really, I feel like, has happened so organically in this place. It's hard to even pinpoint when the little free library happened.
Yeah.
When
Right.
I named the cherry bomb. When I named that, when we, all these weird little, when we started throwing treats at dogs. When
Thank you, Trey Bone.
I don't know, Trey Bone.
Shout out to Trey Bone.
We couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, it's true.
Window catching 101 right here, the window. It's like, it's hard to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Right.
It just really
I
want to
think
say
it's-
we were like masterminding all of it.
Well, I think it's a testament to like who we are and what's important to us. Caryn and I have been good friends for several years now. And, certain aspects of it is like coffee shops are harbingers of gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee shops are a signal that the neighborhood is being gentrified, and soon any folks in a lower economic bracket are not going to be able to afford living here. Like, we can't ignore that fact. And being in Portland, in North Portland and St. John's, it's, I think if you're not aware of that, you're really missing the big picture of what's happening socially. And it's just always been important to us in this very diverse, economically diverse and socially diverse neighborhood to, support the neighborhood itself, not the neighborhood that like someone might want to see in a few years, but like
what
this,
it is right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And be able to get everybody to come here for a cup of coffee if regardless of whether or not they can necessarily like afford a mocha or one of the fancy drinks on the menu.
Right.
And it's just who we are. We're a little quirky, and we're definitely try to be as mindful and aware of what's going on, and continuously challenging ourselves as to like what's going on internally and how can we do better. And a lot of it has happened organically, but not without effort. Like, we've done the work to be aware and to like check in with what's going on.
That really resonates well. Like, I think you give that message very well. And I like the fact that you're not afraid just to show yourselves with your, like, your branding's really clear, but you also show yourselves. And I also appreciate that you guys can be vulnerable to the point of, like, something went really wrong today and it really sucks. And this is what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I
Yes.
relate to that. It's not all smooth and polished. It's not all very yuppified.
That's-
You're not
Yeah.
hiding behind a brand where nobody knows who's behind it. You know,
Right.
it's like, because I think people really do put their dollars towards their values. At least I hope they do in St. John's. And that means a lot. And that feels different than just going to X corporation and buying the thing that's on the nationwide menu and contributing to that. There's, you know, I'm not saying there's big business is all wrong, but it's a
Right.
very, very different experience. And a lot of the times, like, I'm looking forward to the drink that I'm going to get as seeing you guys. However, both of us are showing up. Maybe I'm the one having the terrible day, you know, but I feel like I can show up as myself and that someone cares, like, you know, how I'm doing for real. And I might learn something, and I always meet interesting people in the line.
Yeah.
Always.
We feel so lucky.
We're so lucky.
We have like the best folks that come here.
the best.
We really are. They're a lot of fun. And when we see a couple of them next to each other that we're like, you two are gonna
We should
jive.
know each other.
Try to
Yes.
give a little introduction. That's part
Yeah.
of like the neighborhood thing, though,
Mhm.
right? You know, it's just part of
It
something
is.
we didn't
Yeah.
really feel like we had a lot here, and
Yeah.
it's been really meaningful to watch that happen. We've seen neighbors
Meet each other
meet
for the
each
first
other
time
in line.
here.
I
Actually,
love
my
that.
neighbor, someone said to someone else, and they said, "Oh, yeah, I think we do live next door to each other."
God, I
It was
love
so
that.
early
It was
on
awesome.
too.
Yeah, that was really
I was
early.
like, ah! It was
So
just
that's-
it was like that's what this could be. You know, ideally great. It would be lovely to have a brick and mortar, a place where people could gather. But I still get that sense of gathering here.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of space for gathering at this juncture, and yeah, that's been really fun.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm amazed too, you know, the square footage of your space and the extensiveness of your menu. I mean, your menu is quite extensive, and I remember being
Thanks.
super excited. You're one
Yeah.
of the few people that had a specialty coffee that was sugar-free.
Mm.
Like, I go through
Mm.
periods where I don't eat sugar, and you had like a sugar-free, I think, mint syrup or something like that. And I'm like,
We have a
Uh-huh.
couple
wow,
of
I just don't
sugar-free, yeah.
find that often.
Yeah.
And you had the CBD ones like before a lot of people did.
Yep.
So it's like, small does not have to mean like limited in any way. In fact,
Yeah.
you've kind of gone the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please, boss.
well, I was just going to say, yes, we do. There's a lot to read out there. It's an extensive menu. You know, when you're making a menu, all the ingredients have to have a home, and this is a very small space, and so it's kind of like laughable for us sometimes in here because we're like, we can't bring anything else in here until we take something out.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint folks who want blended
Blended
drinks. Sorry.
You know.
It's toaster blender.
It's a
in
toaster
here.
or blender. It's what's up.
Oh, toaster.
Yeah.
Toaster's the right choice. Toaster.
I think so, too.
we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun though. We had someone, we had a very wise person who used to work for an unnamed national brand before they got to be what they are. Give us some advice about creating specialty drinks, and frankly,
This is something unique.
this one right here is a bartender mixologist by trade before becoming a small business owner, and so she's someone who, when we have our friend gatherings, usually has like kind of a special beverage.
Been a while.
I know. Well, we haven't had gatherings. It's been the four of us in our germ pod for a year.
That's true.
Because as you can see, it's a small space in here.
It's all
But there's like I have still the little piece of tape that was the label for the Cat's Meow ginger cocktail that she made for my birthday a few years ago. So she makes the Nutella sauce. She makes the cherry syrup for our cherry bomb.
It's true.
And is always kind of like looking for the next thing. So it's it's a lot of fun, and I'm very thankful for Caryn's creativity. and her diligence in keeping us in that Nutella sauce, because y'all know how to drink it.
Y'all
Y'all
sauce.
like the Nutella latte.
Yes. Well, I was wondering about that because honestly, your flavors are so nuanced. Like it's that science of combining flavors in a certain way that is not, it's not simple. Your combinations are not simple. And I did notice that. And I know I sound like the yuppie who came from San Francisco. So they're, yeah, I know. I mean, I've had a lot of really fancy meals, right? In my past.
Hey.
I'm not doing that right now, but I did notice it was noticeable that your what you put together is pretty, like, not your first time doing it. Yeah.
Well,
that.
people work very hard for their dollars. And if they're going to come up to my window and spend their dollars, the least you could do is start with an amazing product, which we do. We have used Marigold coffee, roasted right here in Portland. And they've been a wonderful partnership.
Absolutely.
I don't think...
We adore them.
They're really
fantastic
so
folks
many
over there at
hearts
Marigold.
To Marigold, from their roasters to the people that deliver it to the owners. They're wonderful, and they have a stellar product. It's easy to make something delicious when you go out and find the best product for the best price that you can serve to people at a price they can afford. And even if they can afford even just a little bit more, it's like, oh, I know that's going to be delicious. So if that, Liz, I don't know where I went. I got lost.
I was going right with you. With you.
Maybe she can pick up.
I just
want
to say also, like, it's important to us to have high quality products. Like,
I think that's
it's not just anything that you're picking up at 7-Eleven. You know, like we serve Desi Chai. Sam at Desi Chai makes small batch chai every week.
Yes.
It's not
fresh.
It's not a shelf stable product that you can find at the market, and that just sits on the shelf for a year.
The taste reflects that, for sure. Right. The taste reflects that. Plus, you're also showing your values and supporting other small local businesses.
For sure.
Like what you are is also what you support. And even though you're a small and relatively new business, I've also noticed that you give back a lot.
Thank you.
You know, and I know that, in the first few years of business, it's not like anybody's, buying a mansion anytime soon.
Right.
But forever, maybe.
Right.
For me. But you can still do something, and those little gestures are what make a difference, right? You can do these little things that if we all do little things as a community together, we can collectively make a difference. And you're demonstrating that, right?
Yeah. Even just sharing a post on Insta from a place you just got, whatever, is a huge thing for little places that are just starting, that only, don't have a lot of followers. It's like, oh, what's that place? It just takes that community to keep the wheel greased. You know,
it's not the cheapest thing to do, but
it's a good investment.
That's not. Yeah, it's a good investment. Like it's not a commodity. Commodities are like a race to the bottom. Yep. Like you just it comes from someplace, and I don't know. I think we're just kind of a golden rule sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good karma, and this is how it works, and this is how we contribute to that. And as much as I want to say, give ourselves a pat on the back for community cups, those are coffees that
are what we've asked our community.
But that's what people have bought
to help us.
Yeah.
And all the times we've, donated to Third Eye Books and things like that, we've asked the community to help us do that. It's like, we're going to donate our tips today, and it's amazing what people will give.
Yeah.
And it's that's been really special. Yeah. And I think that if you can do that, someone can do that for you. Someone can do that, for another struggling business or what have you, whatever you're, doing.
Absolutely.
But we've asked people to help us, and it's really unbelievable that what people will do.
Yeah, we feel very lucky.
They show up. They show up. And
they do.
That's one of the things I love about living here is that, times get tough and people don't always get along, and that is part of being in a close community, but people show up.
Yeah.
And in that on that vein, how was it when the pandemic started? And in a way, you're uniquely positioned to be your takeout, so that you were
Yeah.
kind of there. But what about
Yep.
like, did you have all that online stuff before the pandemic, or did you have to create all that?
Well, that's a great question, Liz. Let me
Gee,
try to
Liz.
keep it as brief a story as possible. So we use Square. Thanks for your free online store, Square.
Thank you, Square.
Thanks for changing it over a
You're
month
the
before the
best.
pandemic,
You shouldn't have.
and then requiring all of your store owners to go through a very convoluted process to change it over.
But don't worry.
Oh.
There's two
Don't
of us
worry,
here.
it was great. Yeah, no, Square bought Weebly, which is a website generator, and they
Oh, they did?
decided about a month before the pandemic really hit us here in the States that at the end of that month they were going to require everybody to have changed over their store to Weebly, like 100%. And so at one point they just flipped the switch, and we didn't. It was a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like we were building the airplane while we were flying it.
Yes.
Right.
You know, and where she's
I'm
trying to
over
communicate
here.
with people through pantomiming through the window because we didn't even have the window open
We're
at
like,
first.
can this be open? We
And
don't know.
I'm over on the other side with the computer, like.
She looked like that little thing that's just like,
Yeah.
like trying to figure
God.
it out.
It was really,
Took about
it was
2
really
weeks.
intense.
That's
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks. It was like things weren't working. Thanks to all of our customers
Oh my
who were
God.
so awesome and being like,
Telling us.
I can't
That
do
we
this
can't see
on that
that.
item. I don't know how to add an extra shot to this thing, or
Again,
whatever the details
the
are.
customers.
Yeah, it has been a.
There they are.
There they are. They're amazing.
Saving us.
Yeah, the online store, we only had 2 regular customers who ordered from the online store pre-pandemic.
Yep. And now it's
it's probably about 50,
that's been our
50 now.
biggest challenge is control, doing both things.
Both things, small amount of inventory if we're talking about bagels or pastries going out, or we the royal make small batch cold brew pretty much every day, and so when we're getting low on that, it's a lot of juggling still. But we were uniquely positioned because
we never had to close.
We never had to close.
Right.
We didn't have to lay anybody off. And we feel so thankful. We thought, I remember very distinctly being like, well, if the governor says that we aren't allowed to operate, and then I was like, oh my God, we're takeout. We're essential. We're essential.
We're essential.
Crazy.
And I
essential.
can think of a lot of people who would agree. Yeah. I know.
And I just didn't. I didn't realize how much that takeout operation was really, in a lot of ways, like a backbone for a society. That was really eye-opening to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And plus, people got out and were walking so much as like their main form of entertainment.
A lot of people found us that way.
Yeah,
They're
right,
like, oh,
exactly.
I never even were able to stop because I was always on my way to work or whatever. So we really got such a new wave of customers.
A lot of new folks.
Finding us and just making it part of their walk or their getting out of the house. Some people, think of all the folks who were living alone. This was a place that they could come and actually talk to another adult or human if you're just living with your dog or something.
There were a few, for several months, there were a few customers who we were their only social interaction because they were getting groceries delivered and
everything.
It was an intense time.
Yeah, we did delivery too in the early
we did
days.
delivery early on. That was fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
we hope to bring that back at some point.
Yeah, that was
but
fun.
we're busier, and so it's again with the juggling and the spinning plates and the whole thing.
The juggling and the spinning plates. Oh my gosh! And
a lot.
It's you're open if you're able to be open, but if one of you gets sick or whatever, you gotta juggle that. You gotta manage that, and that's part of being a new business. But it's a lot, especially with your own stuff. Your own like dealing with the pandemic, and I don't know how that felt, but I was extremely anxious, especially the first few months. And so I'm like, I don't know if I should be around people, or I don't really know what to do here.
Right.
Well, we asked ourselves those same questions, because we still had to go to the market to resupply.
Right. I worked at a market.
And she was working at a market also.
3 days a week.
Doing a second job situation.
There was a lot there. And, I had just few months ago had a COVID scare, and it was really just what kind of got us to say, you know, we can't do that again now.
Yeah.
That's just not, I can't be away for 10 days.
Right.
I just, you know, it's just.
Congratulations, you have a business.
Wow, girl.
You did it.
Yeah.
But it does seem kind of unfair to so many new businesses to be like, oh, you're starting a new business? We're going to throw this wrench in it. Now we've got a pandemic.
Yeah.
And
We never thought of this. Yeah. We never.
It's going to be smooth sailing now.
We did think, what are we going to do if there's like construction in front of the cart and people can't get to it? We never thought, you know, the worldwide pandemic.
But you know, I mean, you it's a give and take though with everything. It's like, just trying to practice non-attachment and taking care of your expectations, because it was great to have an open air coffee shop, an outdoor coffee shop during a pandemic. Hey, you know, and it sucked in September.
Yeah.
When we were closed for 8 days because we couldn't go outside.
Yeah, because
that was
smoke.
That was not awesome.
That's actually was one of the longest times we've been closed.
Yeah.
Was during that smoke week.
Yeah, it was really.
It was closed 8 days.
It was really tough.
Yeah.
8 days. That's so
basically
long for you guys. Oh my God.
It's a long time for us.
Because you're pretty much outside in here. I mean, you can't keep air from coming in.
And we don't want anyone sitting out there
want people
smoking themselves here. Like brisket. What's going on? No, that's not what's happening.
If you're here, people will come.
Can't.
You know,
like you guys can't risk it. That's
and,
not.
And
that's
we can't
right.
risk it for ourselves. Yeah. So that was hard. That was probably the hardest part of the pandemic was the smoke out. Yeah,
I think so. I think that's.
I
true.
almost forgot about it for a second, and as soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh yeah."
You're like,
in my house and I'm like,
of all the things to remember,
Somebody said to us like last week, they were like, "Oh, was that this past year?" It's like, it was. In fact, this past year.
Seems like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Really, because then we had that bad winter.
Then the ice storm.
Yeah,
we froze up in here for
so
that
biblical.
too. Yeah, it really was. Like, where's the locusts?
The frogs falling. Like, where is all that? Yeah.
Luckily, we have a tin roof here, so.
Yeah. Well, and at least you guys have each other in your friendship, and that you're not like a solo person alone in that cart. I think that would be harder. But
Couldn't do it.
It's just But anyway, we're finally in spring. Finally.
Yay.
And people are getting their vaccinations, and
we're both half vaxxed.
Woo! I'm half vaxxed. I'm a half vaxxed too. So great. I'm excited, but I'm excited to not like rush out and gather, but just to not feel like extremely anxious all the time.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, I mean, I had so many moments over the past year be like, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't have gone to that store. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like now I've got it now. I'm sniffling. I've got it. Oh no. You know, like that's how my anxious mind works. It just spins.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. But it also is like I've seen how anxious I can get and what that does to me. But I've also seen how strong I can be too. Like I can make it through a lot of things I never thought I would be able to make it through. And with you guys too, like you're here, you're doing it. You're still doing it. You're doing it well. Like, whoa, okay, that's good.
I think it, you know, when we go through anything in life, it can be something that builds muscle and builds resilience. And it's not easy. And I know it sounds really cliche to say it like that, but it's the truth. It's challenging. And then if you can keep the right perspective, I think you can, you know, really kind of come out like with just being stronger and with a different mindset. And, when Caryn was out for 10 days on quarantine, I felt very confident that she was going to be okay because I know how conscientious she is.
2 masks.
2 masks, lots of gloves.
At the market, I wore 2 masks.
Yeah, she's you know, she's very conscientious.
Yeah.
I can't remember why I was starting to talk about that now, but that's what happens when I'm on a live, and I'm just going to admit it. I don't even care.
Sorry, I said 2 masks.
2 masks. This is how ADD works, Liz.
This is how it goes.
This is why the blinds need to be closed in order to.
You open the refrigerator and you're like, "What was I doing
here? What was I doing here?"
Slowly close. This isn't where I kept my laundry.
That's not, you're right. That's not where my other shoe is, or is it?
Right.
Or is it? But I love, you know, it's so funny, Kat, that when I listen to you speak, I can tell you're a writer because you have like so many quotable things. I like want to write them down.
Oh,
They're
well,
so
thanks.
good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later.
Hey, put that
I
in the
know,
book.
but that's
That's going in the
It's
book.
going in the book, Liz.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Put it in the
careful
book.
if y'all say anything
It's
around
going in the
here
book.
because it might go in the book.
Good.
No,
And this is why
I'm
I
always
love
saying
this because, you know, I get to know you in a different way than when I'm like in the car with my dogs, getting my drink. Hey, good to see you. Talking to people online. And then like, that's what I miss is the hanging out part. And I don't love talking through my mask. So I love, I've almost forgotten what people's full faces look like. So I really like seeing like mouths operating and stuff. It's like, it's very refreshing.
Mouths.
Yeah, we have.
I'm still looking at people's mouths, even though I can't see them because, you know, if they're masks, I'm still looking at masks. I'm like, what are you doing? Look in their eyeballs.
I know, right? I know. It's up. My eyes are up here. You're looking at my mask.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
let's
tell some people who are on here and might not be familiar with your business. How do they find you? How do they support you? Like, how do they order from you? Let's give them a few things to like. Where do they follow you? Give me the spiel on that.
You got this one, boss?
Sure. Instagram, if you're watching us, you're probably on it.
Yeah.
Unless this is being shared to Facebook. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing over there.
We don't know.
But Instagram is probably the place where we're the most active in terms of social media channels. On our Instagram profile, there is a link to where you can order online. And we do also have an email newsletter. That I don't have an easy way for you to get to right now. It's not a really smart thing. But follow us up on our,
can you sign up on the website?
Sure. If you go to our website,
we'll work on that.
See if you can find a link for it.
You can find a
see
link.
What happens.
Maybe
no, if you ordered online from us, I have enrolled you into our newsletter, but you can unsubscribe from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're on the north side of St. John, so if you're driving down Fessenden and you're like, wait a second, what was that hidden back there?
Yes.
That might have been something cute I just drove past.
Totally, yes. And we're in the Blue House Community Fitness parking lot.
Yeah, we're across from George Park here.
Across from George Park.
We share the space with a gym, with a functional fitness, CrossFit style gym, and these folks are awesome.
We love them.
And
we love them very much.
You know, we can talk about that if you're curious about them.
You just come
over here and we'll chat about it because we really love them.
Yes, we're lifting.
Excellent. Well, and on that note, can you also tell me what other businesses in St. John's that you like to support?
So many. Well, we love Revolutions books. We love going over there and seeing what's happening. Me and my partner are there a lot. Stormbreaker.
Sandoz from Chop.
Sandoz from Chop. I mean, if you haven't been to Chop, I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Missing out on your one. If you're one of those people during COVID that you've decided just to eat one giant meal a day, which strangely I know a lot of us have.
Snake meal.
I'm telling you, Chop. The sandwiches are so delightfully large. I know you've been there, Liz. Right? Have you been to Chop?
Many times. Many sandwiches.
It's like two meals.
Yes.
So Lombard House. My lady was reminding us we love to go to Lombard House and sit in the backyard and have our beer. If you're an Eagles fan, a Philadelphia Phillies fan, you can go there.
Nice.
Who else are we going to see, boss?
Well, you know, I mean, there are so many great little shops. It's one of the things about St. John's is that we're so compact over here. There's like you're only going to hang out in our neighborhood unless you get out of town entirely.
Exactly.
So,
Totally.
You know, so there's lots of good places. Oh, and big shout out, I love Falafel House.
Oh yeah, the Falafel
I know
House.
the carts are over there on Lombard, and I know we're talking about the North End over here, but I do love me some falafel.
I do.
Mikey comes here occasionally, and I just try not to fangirl over the falafel all the time.
Otto.
Good.
Otto there, dog?
No.
So good.
Hazelnut notes.
Hazelnut notes. Of course,
Some folks
dogs.
we know by their dogs.
Yes.
I love that too.
So many dogs, so little
It's
time.
true.
Well, that is awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for spending time
best,
with
Liz.
me.
Thank you,
And I
Liz.
wanted to tell people, like, if you happen to go visit Daydreamer, make sure you take a picture.
Yes.
Hashtag it St. John's Bites from
St. John's Bites.
and
Yeah.
you could possibly win a $50 gift certificate to the business in your photo. So do it. There doesn't cost you a thing.
Great.
And we want to give this money away. So do it.
Cultured kindness. We do love cultured kindness.
Yay,
Yes.
love it. Well, I thank you so much. It was so fun. I could talk all day. You know, we
Yes.
could just keep
I know.
going down so many rabbit holes, and we will.
I know.
We will.
Yes. Rabbit
But
hole
we will
after
let these
rabbit hole.
people go
Well,
now.
You know,
And-
whenever you're ready, you know, we'd love to have you over here and maybe do one of these in person. How fun
Maybe
would
one
that
day
be?
when
That
we
would
can
be
gather.
fun.
One day when we can gather.
Yeah.
Um,
That sounds great.
Future goals. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you were excellent interviewees, and I love doing
Thanks.
two people at the same time is really fun
Have fun.
because I get to see people sitting next to each other, and I'm like alone with my animals here, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
people together, it's so good.
We're nearby each other.
Yes,
We're very close. It's
Yes,
scandalous
Well-
to be within
Yes.
6 feet of each other.
I know.
think
We've
that's
been
the
in the
thing.
same pod. Nobody worry.
I think
Oh,
that's
of
the thing.
course.
It's going to take a lot of deprogramming in
It
a
is.
post-COVID
World.
world, but you know,
my
can
social
do it.
skills are not up to par
My-
right now. I was around some people at Wayfinding where I work part-time, and I was like, I don't know how to do this exactly.
It's
Like,
hard.
I don't know how to make small talk
Yeah.
or be not awkward or so
It's like
anyway,
riding a bike. Just get back on.
Yeah.
It'll
Even if
become
it's
normal
awkward.
again. Yeah,
one cares.
exactly.
Right.
Yep.
We're all together. All right. Thank you
Yep.
guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate you,
Liz.
Wonderful weekend, and I will
Thanks.
surely see you soon.
Yes, you will.
right on. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
All
See
right. You
later.
too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.